How do you deal with rejection within this industry? Because I feel like that's a very big part of modeling and the creative arts.
I have I've always had such an interesting relationship with rejection anyway, where it's like I feel like I walked into the industry pretty much with the mindset of there is nothing anyone can say to me that I haven't looked in the mirror and said to myself.
Okay.
So it was like nothing was personal. It's
Yeah.
never personal. Like I don't see me not getting a job or like castings or like anything that I do within the industry or just life in general. It's not personal to me. Like I don't think, oh, you got that job, which then prevented me from getting that job. No, I look at it as like, oh, you were the right person for the job. Okay, cool. Like, next thing that happens, like I'm sure if it was meant to be for me, it will happen, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really look at it as rejection. It's kind of like, if it's meant to be, then it's like I would have had that job. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only time that it would feel like rejection if it's when it gets to a point where you're like, wait, why am I not working? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm great. You know I'm great.
Yeah.
What's stopping us from working then?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I never looked at that as like, you're rejecting me or stopping me from working. I've always just looked at it as like, it probably has nothing to do with me. Like I don't what is it? I never want to overestimate my importance as Awar when it comes to working, because they're not looking at me, like they don't know me personally. Like they're not going, oh, we don't want Awar. They just, this is the model that this is the model that fits the profile of what we're looking for right now. Let's use her, and that's fine with me. Like I have no problem. Like I've always been like the biggest cheerleader for like any model or any girl or anyone really, because I'm like, oh yeah, you deserve it, 100%. But it's not even like on some fake like, oh, let me fake support you. I don't fuck with you. I don't like you. I don't care what you're doing with your life. Go be great, but over there, I would never walk up to you and be like, oh my god, you're amazing. No, fuck off. You don't. I'm not giving you my congratulations. But if I do, like you and I have that relationship with you, I'll be the first person. I'll be more excited for you than you will be for yourself, because I don't see that as like you taking anything from me. I see that as you just being great at what you do. Therefore, you got this opportunity to, and you fit the job. Like, amazing. It's your own journey. Like, we're not colliding in any way, shape, or form. We'll walk past each other for sure. We will cross paths multiple times, but we will never get to, the crossroad. And I feel like, oh, now you've taken over my journey. That's not how it works. I don't care for it. Like, it's an experience. So I think that's why it's like my relationship with rejection in the industry is like so weird. It's not to say that there hasn't been a job that I wanted to do. And I'm like, damn, I wish I did it. I wish I got it. There has, but I've never looked at it as like, I didn't get that because they didn't like me. I didn't get that because they I just wasn't the model they were looking for at that time. That's how I looked at it, right?
So I think you need to have that kind of outlook to do this sort of job, because it's like you meet so many people, yourself. Like you're constantly being told to like go here, go there, and a lot of things it's like you put the intention out there, like to then like have it come back. Like say if you go into a casting, doesn't mean that you're going to get the job, but you're like building that relationship. Or say
I showed up.
If your agent's like, oh, go to this party, you're just meeting people, but you never know that they might be like, oh my god, or something like that.
You might accidentally end up networking. I think it's just important to be so confident in yourself and your purpose and who you are that you're not really hurt or touched by anything that happens when it comes to modeling. Like, I go to a casting and I'm like, hey, this is Awar, nice to meet you, bye. I don't go into that casting going, oh my god, please book me, because I believe that you need me as much as I need you. And like I said, I belong in this room as much as you belong in this room.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost like this level of arrogance of like, well, it's not arrogance, it's confidence, but it can, I guess it is. It depends.
Like a solid base.
Where it's like, yes, I would love the job, but if I don't get it, that's not gonna take away from who I am. Like, it's not that I don't care, but I don't care. Like, it's like, okay, cool, that would have been a great job. That would have been fun. Shit, you would have been lucky to have me.
So if anything,
shit, you don't even know how cool I am.
It's alright, because like we should.
But I'm sure whoever you pick would do an amazing job. That's how I look. I'm like, okay, cool, and then you just go about your life.
That if I'm on set, I'm gonna deliver.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because I'm gonna do what you need me to do. So just do what you feel comfortable doing, and you never force yourself into a room that they're closed. Just, they're closed and leave it alone. Don't even knock. Just leave it alone.
Honestly, I feel like that's been like a theme for me this year on like a personal level of really just like respecting that if, you thought that this was supposed to happen or you had this with, and if that person is like, no, so that's fine. Like, because
it's their life at the end of the day, and it's their choice as well. So I think ego is beating our asses so much when it comes to that, because we forget that they are also living the same time as you, but they're not having the same story. So just because somebody has a chapter or a whole novel in your life, you might not even have a title, and you should be okay with that. It sucks. It is what it is, but it's like, who are you to go, hey, I'm important, I should be in your life? Like, that's such just go, okay, like, you would have been lucky to have me in your life. But it's okay, have a great life, take care of yourself. I would have blessed the fuck out of you.
Oh yeah,
but you don't want it. It's fine. And maybe the offerings I was giving wouldn't have looked like offerings once you grabbed it anyway. So who knows? So it's okay. Like, it's yeah. But I don't know if that's the God complex in me that just feels like.
No, I think if anything, I've had to like embody more of that energy this year. I feel like this year for me has just been about growth and really just like having those like solid foundations to be like, I have myself, and to be a bit more protective of myself. I feel like I kind of
everybody deserves.
Ran into things, was just like, oh my God, I'm here. And it's like, actually, there's I feel like recently I was on a walk and I felt this like grief of like, not feeling like my child self is gone, but I feel like the like naivety that I used to have is kind of like, is like slipping away, and I feel like there's a part of me that's like,
the innocence is gone. You're just looking at the world from like, you're like, damn, the world is kind of ugly.
I know. Yeah. Especially this year, I really had to like sit with that and be like, not everyone's gonna have your best interest. Not everyone is gonna, because words to me are so important. So when I say something like, I mean it. I'm like the same. It's like, if I'm smiling at you, we're good.
It's not fake.
If I don't really gel with you, I'm probably gonna be on the opposite end of the room.
I won't walk up to you and be like, I hate you. That's weird. No. But if you come to my face, I'm not gonna fake it either and be like, oh my God, I love you so much. Because no, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, 100%. Like I can't pretend. I can't like fake.
Yeah.
But I feel, I don't know, like just a bit more grey up this year.
You know what's weird?
What?
I feel like this year I did the flip where it's like I was so protective of my energy and my space for a long time that it's like every time people were coming into my life, I'd be like, all right, but stand at the door. Yeah. And it would just be like, all right, give me a minute, I'll come back to you. Yeah. And I go and I do this and I do that and I do that, and then it was like, it would take me a long time, inch by inch, like you can take a little step, a little quarter step. Yeah. But it's like the minute you do one thing, bye, get the fuck out, and you don't get a chance to redeem yourself. I used to be like that, so like strict. I'm still strict. I still am. And I'm still very like, no. Because I'm heavy on like, if I would never do that to you and you did that to me, bet, say no more. No conversation is needed. It is what it is. Love you. Bye.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even hate you. You don't need to be in my life because I would have never done that to you. Right? And I think it's important to, you know, like have that boundary because sometimes people know what they're doing. Like at the end of the day, people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're hoping that the love you have for them will kind of bend your boundaries a bit more to the point where you're a bit more graceful. Now, I'm not saying I never give grace or I don't forgive or I don't do anything.
Of course.
It's just there's certain buttons that, you know, like there's people that probably have pushed me like 50 plus times, right? But because I didn't think that they were like things where I'm like they're worthy of being cut off on because I know them and how they think and how they maneuver, and it's like I've accepted a certain part of you. So when I accept you into my life, I'm not only accepting the great things about you, I'm also accepting the flaws and how sometimes you might not be or you might and it's like I know that that's how you operate, and I know that sometimes you're gonna fuck up because we all fuck up, right? And we're all gonna make mistakes. So as long as I know where your heart is at, and what you've done isn't to the effect of, or you fucking with me, we can move past that. We can have that conversation as long as you can stand up and be like, yeah, I do see why you would be upset with that. And we have that conversation. That's fine. And then there's certain people that's like, oh, it's one thing. Just one thing. Yeah. And I could have and it's like I could love you wholeheartedly, my whole heart. I would literally start a war for you, vengeance type of love. Yeah. I'm not a flowers. No. Yeah. I'll burn the whole world down for you. That's how I show how much I love you. You know, that's how, right? So it's like there's people like that, and they do one thing, but because the principle was so important to me, and you're playing with my principles and values now. It's like, it's okay. Yeah. And that can come up so cold and cutthroat sometimes. But you shouldn't have done that because I would have never done that to you. Like.
So then how did you flip this year? In terms of...
This year I kind of flipped where instead of making all my decisions, because 90% of all my decisions were just more logical. Like you said, doesn't make sense. Okay, why doesn't it make sense? Okay, let's move forward, right? This year I was just kind of like, okay, fuck it. Let's see what is it like to just move through emotions and just feel. Yeah. And I said, oh, that's how y'all live?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, come to the other side.
No, I did that for a little bit, but I feel like because of like how I'm conditioned and like just me and who I am, it's like I can never really fully submerge in emotions. Yeah. Like I always find myself just, I flip back. Like I can quickly just pull myself out of the emotions. Like as soon as I feel I'm getting too deep, I'm like, all right, but get out for a little bit. And then I'm like, okay, let me test the waters again. Yeah. But I flip in a way where it's like, okay, allow them in. Trust them first, and then we'll go from there. You know, like give people the space to be themselves, and if they fuck up, they fuck up, right? Instead of like anticipating and inviting people and going, you're gonna fuck up soon, I wonder when though. Like that's how I used to be, where I was like, I wonder how long it's gonna take. I wonder what it is. Like, what is it?
What's gonna happen?
What is it? Like, you know, because it's like I just want to know. Like I've always wanted to just be like 10 steps ahead. 10 steps, not even one, 10. Like, but now it's just like maybe 3. You know.
I need to that.
Where it's like, oh, okay, they could go this way.
I feel like now I'm like that, where I'm like, okay, I should be like 2 steps forwards, and then like.
No, it's like because I don't even know how to like look at any scenarios without having like 10 different perspective of how it could go. Yeah. Like it's just that's just how my mind works. Like I'll say hi to you, right? And it's like, okay, it could have gone 1,000 different ways. This is just one of the ways it went. But I do that because I like to just feel prepared a little bit. I don't like to feel like I don't want to be in shock. I don't like having that like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I know. No, I'd rather be like, I kind of saw it coming. I just was hoping I was wrong. Yeah. Like that's how I used, like well, I guess that's how I still maneuver a little bit. But this year it was kind of like trying not to have so much control. Like I have such an interesting relationship with control, and I kind of like let it go this year, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I like it.
Yeah.
But it took a lot of weight off me though, because I'm like, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, so what? Like, if I had a reaction, I did.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you deserve that reaction.
Well,
I said what I said. I did what I did, and I don't care. Like,
yeah, and that's kind of like part of living. Like, is it not? Just experiencing and just seeing like.
Yeah, and not trying to find a reason as to why things are happening. Sometimes there isn't a why, but I'm always looking for a why. And I just like sometimes I just
it gives us like, comfort, you know, like when you like. I think sometimes it's hard to like digest things when
that's just who they are, or
that's just how
it is.
Happened,
yeah,
that's just what is happening. You know, so, like
because you're like, damn, okay.
Because like I feel like when like my mind, although I probably move more from like my heart center, I would say. Like I feel like I'm more like like I move through feelings, which is like give and take.
I feel like I just think too big. Like people don't think big enough, and it's like, so when I feel things, I don't feel it on a normal scale. I'm looking at it like an outer world like type of scale. I'm like, it is big.
It is.
It's like, a big deal.
Yeah.
But that's why like I have to go, because my emotions are so intense. I have to make sure that no matter how I'm feeling, I'm making a logical decision, because that feels like I'm more comfortable in that, because I'm like, okay, that I can be like, I chose to do this, I wasn't reactive, I intentionally did this, and no matter what comes of it, I'm okay with that. I can accept that.
But how does your intuition come to play? Because I feel like stuff like intuition is more just like from your body than like your head.
Yeah, but it's like, that's why I'm saying, like, I feel it, I see it, everything, right? And then I make the decision. It's not like, you know, I don't go off of just the feeling. I have to analyze the situation, look at it from different perspective, be open to people just talking to me as well. Like, you know, you want to tell me how I should look at it or what I should put into consideration, I'll listen. And I'll go, okay, cool. Take on all that data and then make the decision.
Data.
It is.
My notebook.
Take it all in. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Because I know I'm crazy. Like, so it's like, if I go strictly off emotions, like, listen, I'm burning everything down every time I feel like I'm violated. I will, you know, I'll flip every 2 seconds, but it's like, some people just are raised different. Some people just don't have the capacity to put themselves in other people's shoes. Some things happen just because it happens. It was never personal. And that's things like I have to stop and just go, okay, let's take into account that not everybody looks at the world the way you do. Let's take into account that not everybody was raised or, you know, has the ability to be as considerate or as kind. Kind is beating your asses. A lot of people anyways. That's a lot of people think they are
like, kindness for me is,
it's so important, but I feel like so many people think they are, but they're not. Like, they kind of move in a, like, just because they feel good by trying to make you feel good. Like, it's like, no, just take yourself out of it for 2 seconds. Would you still do that? If you didn't get any gratification out of being nice to that person or doing anything, would you still do that? No, you won't. So shut the fuck up, because that's fake. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I can't move with emotions, because my emotions, I'm just so like passionate, and it just like, I'm extremely sensitive in a sense of like,
you would have to be extremely sensitive.
I'm so sensitive. I'm so like, yeah, like, it's like I feel it, I see it, I, you know. So then when I do make that decision, it's not even for you, them, nothing. It's for me. Like I want to be okay with myself. I want to be able to go to bed or wake up or do the next thing knowing that yes, I moved as myself in that situation. I didn't let anyone get me out of character. That's why emotions are a bit tricky, because it's like it's so easy for people to get you out of character a lot of the times when you're like, oh, or you playing, you want to play in my face. And it's like, that's such an ego thing. Like that's such a pride thing where it's like, take that out for a second, think about why did they do that. Because a lot of the times people do shit, it's to do with them. It's more than it is to do with you. And it's like
100%.
there's a lot of deflecting, there's a lot of self-sabotage, there's a lot of, you know, people will never say I hate myself, but they will show you that they hate themselves. And you're just there like,
which is something that I really learned this year as well. Like the way someone can treat you is way more of a reflection of how they feel about themselves.
100%. I've met people where I'm like, you don't even see how amazing you are. So why am I over here trying to tell you you're amazing? Please let me remove myself, because you're starting to resent me and you're starting to hate me for thinking that you're amazing. Like, I'm so sorry for thinking that you were lovable. I'm so sorry for thinking that you were an amazing soul that deserved love, nurture, understanding, and support. But let me remove myself. I will leave you, let you be, you know? Because you know what? I've met so many people that I'm like, wow, I love you. You're amazing. Your energy is amazing. You have so much potential. Because you just feel because you just feel it and you see it, right? There's certain people you meet and they just have that energy that like, and it's like you spend 5 seconds with them, or like, and you actually just watch them for a second and you're like, oh, they don't even know. And it's like that, and it's like they have this fake confidence because they're trying to prove to the world that no, I love myself. And it's like, I can see you don't. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you you hate yourself now. No, that's not my job. Let me
Has to go. Oh my God.
I'll see you when you've done some work. Then we can talk, because I'm at a frequency you're not even at right now, so it's okay.
Oh, preach.
And all that's gonna come off as is like me thinking I'm better than you, and that's never the case. I would never think I'm better than anyone that I'm allowing into my world, into my space. I only want people around me that I find inspirational, beautiful, forward thinking, just up there. If anything, I want to learn from you. I want to learn a little thing or two.
Oh my God.
Whether I know it or not. That's probably why I've gravitated towards you.
I always gravitate towards people that I feel like I can learn from, just like through, you know, their life experience and just like the way that they see the world, being able to kind of like, you know, jump into a different world and whatnot. But what's on the horizon for you? How are you feeling about 2025 on the cusp?
Listen, I have no idea. I'm excited. I think that this year was such a transformative year. It was. There was a lot of emotions this year. And like I said, I work overtime to try to make sense of emotions instead of feeling it. But this year I had no choice. I went through it. Like I felt it. I cried.
You've been through it.
Never look like your problems, ladies. And gents, I guess. Ladies. But I think because I allowed myself to actually feel those emotions and like whether it was pain, grief, shame, whatever it is, right? And I think it was like, like a lot of this year was more me. Like it was for me. It was my own like internal like I was like, what is it about me that I'm not accepting?
It really
like it really hit.
This year, like it really exploring your internal world and like
wounds. I was just like, I didn't even know I had this much fucking guilt. I didn't even know I had this much shame. I didn't know I had all of this. And then it just all came to the forefront this year. I had no choice. It was just like, here, bitch. Since you want to ignore it, it's in your face now. And I said, oh.
Yeah, deal with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. I got knocked down before I could even get up. I had 10 more. Like, it was just like, you know. So I think next year would be more on, because I already see, like, I see the light. I already see the light, like on the other, like I already see it, like I've already gone through it, like I'm going through it, and I see where I'm going, and I just see that it's just more elevation, more transformation, but more from, I guess it would be more from like an ease, you know, new beginning, openness, kind of like I'm not fighting the transformation anymore.
100%.
I'm just like, oh, what's like new?
So much shedding this year, and really being forced.
I'm not the same woman that entered 2024.
Oh my god, like,
I felt like so I've aged 35 years.
Literally.
Like I felt like I've gone through
so much wisdom.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought I figured it out. You know, I thought I was like, I think I got it. I think I got the hang of life. Yeah. You know? And then this year I was like, wait.
And she said,
I didn't actually know anything. And I said, oh.
Literally.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're so right. I actually don't. And I felt like a lost child for a second in like a little wave of tornado. And I was just like, what's going on?
Literally.
And then now I'm like, I'm out of it. So it's like, all we can do from here is elevate, right?
100%.
So I see nothing but great things happening. I see nothing but success. I don't see no reason why I can't be, you know, in the space that I see myself being in, you know, whether that's here, overseas, like hopefully overseas. I think, you know, we've done Australia, we've experienced it.
We need to explore somewhere new.
I want to be somewhere new. I want to be in a different environment, you know. But yeah, that's what's happening. Like I want to just bring on the new challenges.
Okay.
Where's the final boss? Let's do it.
This isn't flashing, but I always like to end the podcast with the same set of questions. But who has inspired you the most in your life?
Who has inspired me the most? I can't say myself.
You can.
No, okay. The only reason why I would say myself would be like, I don't know, like I've been resilient. I've been a fighter. Like I fought. Like I didn't back down. You know, all of that stuff. That's the reason why I would say me, because it's like I constantly pushed through. I pushed myself. I kept going, and I was never afraid to like be in a space that was different or challenging. I just was just like, okay, this is different. How do we, you know, what's new here? Like, okay, how do I maneuver around this new thing? And I've been open to that, right? But I feel like I am the way that is because of the women in my life. Like they've always been like a force to be reckoned with. Like they've always been unafraid and unapologetically themselves. They're not afraid to be loud or quiet or you know, affirmative, or like kind of just open to looking crazy. Like they've always been like, I don't care how crazy I look, as long as I get my point across, and as long as I get the same respect that everybody's demanding of me, I'm going to, you know. And I think that's just admirable to me. So I think the women in my life, like they're just so sexy, fiery, funny as hell, and just like they've generationally they've always been just I used to hate when people like would say, oh, you're so strong, you're such a queen, but I only hated it because I was just like, I shouldn't have to be strong.
Yeah.
Circumstances made me strong or made the women around me strong.
Yeah.
But then them being strong is also the reason why you would say they're all really what? Masculine. Okay, then. So let's not, So I used to have such an interesting relationship with that word. But it's like, I am strong. I have the ability to be strong. But I also have the ability to be the complete opposite, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But I think I'm surrounded by mothers, queens, goddesses, nurturers, lovers.
Okay, if you had a dinner party and you could only invite like 2 people, living or dead, who would it be?
A dinner party? What time of the year?
Let's say it's winter. Yeah.
Okay, so like a cozy dinner party. Can only invite 2 people.
Yeah.
Living or dead.
Anyone.
Anyone.
Right.
I can go really wholesome or just like stupid. Or maybe a bit of both.
Yeah.
I probably would do my grandmother.
Okay. Is she still alive?
From my mom's side? No, she's passed.
Oh, okay.
Now I feel bad because I'm like, shit. How about my other grandmother? No.
But
that one I can have
anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not personal. I love them both.
Yeah.
Her and then who else? It's random.
Yeah.
So random.
Yeah.
But Solange Knowles.
Who?
Solange Knowles.
Oh, is it Beyonce's sister?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, she's so cool.
I love the way she articulates her mind. I feel like I just want to have a conversation with her.
She seems like just
such a vibe.
Like she's just in her own lane, and I feel like to be someone in her position and like have a sister who is like essentially
the greatest of all time.
Literally, but there never feels like there's a competition.
There isn't, because they're two very different people. Yeah.
And she embraces, her thing, and Beyonce does her
what
thing.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're two different worlds.
Yeah, they're like,
not even like
exactly.
Oh, okay, that's a great answer.
I think I would love to have her.
Oh.
I mean, obviously, we love Beyonce, but
yeah, no.
I would like to see, like, I don't know, like, I just want to know, like, I'm so curious, like, I just want to have it doesn't even have to be about anything.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, she can invite me to dinner.
Yeah.
I want to come. You choose what you're doing. I just want to be there. I want to be the fly on the wall. I want to know how she thinks,
Yeah.
And my grandma, just because, like, I just want to have a conversation, just one last conversation. I think that would, as me. Because she passed when I was younger. Yeah, so it's like I would like her to meet me.
Yeah.
I think
that was really close when you were younger. Or
like I was raised by my grandparents from both sides until like the age of 5. So, and I think they saw me, like I've always just very rebellious against authority, like just very do her own thing. So I would have loved to see how that has transformed into the woman that I am now. And I feel like I'm not as wild, like a bit more tame, because life gets to you. But I would like to have a conversation with her, because I feel like she would see me like a little bit, and she'll kind of be like, damn. I see.
But I'm sure that she does see that, obviously.
Yeah, like I'm sure she has an idea of the type of woman that I would have became anyway. Because, like my grandparents always big advocates of be yourself, speak up, what do you want, what do you need, like da-da-da-da. So ideally, yes, but just kind of...
Was it when you moved to Australia that you started living with like
my parents? Yes.
Yeah.
Because both of them are in Sudan. That's home to them. They love it.
Yeah. Wow, that's so interesting. I was like the opposite, where like I was like with like my mum and like family members when we were like back in Liberia, and then a lot of my childhood was spent in Guinea,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I moved here, I grew up with my aunt.
Yeah, so it was like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
No, I was with my grandparents, and then I came. And then I was with my parents. And it was so funny because it was like it was an interesting transition. Yeah, because I was like, they were strangers to me as much as you were my parents. You were strangers to me.
Yeah.
My grandparents were more like my parents. And it's like, I guess a part of me always feels like my grandparents will always understand me way more than my actual parents.
Because that's really interesting.
Yeah, because I think it's like, we all like, as a collective, were forced to like, I guess, maneuver in a world differently when we got into the Western world.
Yeah.
So it's like we didn't really get the chance to be as expressive and as open to exploring oneself when you were here. There were certain rules that you had to go by, right?
Yeah.
As much as it's like, oh yeah, be yourself, da 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 da. There was just still a certain way you had to maneuver in a world of not only, you know, it's a Western world, it's, you know, and they were big on like, oh yeah, maintaining your identity, da 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 da. So it's like, it was easier for my grandparents to just be like, be yourself, because we're in a space where everybody looked like you. It was your, you know, your people. So it's like, it's easy to just kind of be like, oh yeah, you can be yourself, because there isn't really external expectations to be like anybody else. But then when you're in the Western world, it's kind of like, yes, we would love for you to be yourself, but in a way that you can maneuver in this world. And
that makes sense to us. Yeah, 100%.
So it was just kind of tricky, where it's like, don't lose yourself. No, you're Sudanese, da 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 da. But it's like, but you live in Australia. So it's you know, so as much as my parents were growing with that idea as well, I was right there in the forefront. And if anything, I felt like I raised my parents way more than they raised me. You know?
In what way? Because you were younger, that you were like,
you adapt to the society you're in a lot quicker, right?
Quicker,
So it's like, a lot of our parents, especially first generation, they only know survival. Like that's the only level that they are at, right? That's the only level they were ever allowed to be at. So then we're the first generation that has the space or the luxury to be able to almost feel our emotions and like have therapy as an option and like actually work through the emotions instead of just like, I don't have the capacity, I have to survive, I have to do this.
Everything is like...
So when I say I feel like I raised my parents, it's in that way of like, you go, hey, this is not right, this is da 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 da. You're having that conversation, but then it's like, it's hard for them to comprehend your dreams and you wanting to live instead of doing the right thing in order to survive, because they like, what do you mean, we want the best for you, we love you, but the love will show differently. It almost felt suppressive. It almost felt like you're being closed into a box, and you're like, damn, in a world where everybody else is already closed you into a box, you are not supposed to do that either. But that's all they know, and they were just trying to protect you. Now we're at the stage, because I'm a hard-headed child, they had no choice but to follow me where I was running off to, because, you know, it's like they would say no, but it's like, oh, okay, I hear you. But one thing about me, the whole room could say no, and I'll be standing up there like, oh, okay, thanks for the information, and I'll still do what I felt like I wanted to do, what needed to do in that moment. So it's like, we had that like almost cat and mouse, like just back and forth, like just they're trying to raise me as like a Sudanese child, black woman, but in a Western Australian society. But they're like, yes, adapt, but also don't forget that you're Sudanese and you're black first. Like when people see you, you're gonna see a black woman, and then you're Sudanese as well, and then but you're also in Australia. And then you're like, as a child,
and you're like, wait,
as a child you're like, I just want to be my, like, it's like, you don't want to accept me for me, and it's like, no, that wasn't the thing. It's just like they were just trying to be like, hey, this is how this world is very political. It's not, you know, no, they're not gonna look at you and go, oh, that's a Sudanese woman. No, they're gonna go, that's a black person, and then now you're also a woman, and then from that, don't forget you're Sudanese as well. That's don't forget where you came from. Don't forget your roots. You know how Africans are very prideful, very
yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But then it's just a lot of disconnect in terms of communication.
Yeah.
And
that was definitely like my upbringing as well, and like my aunt would always say to me, like, just because you act this way, you're never going to be white. Like, you're always going to be black. And I think that, like, more so when I was in primary school, that I would be like, oh my god, like, blah, blah, blah has hair like this, or blah, blah, blah has braces.
So you can straighten your hair, you can do all of that. You're a black woman.
Literally. And she would always, like, reinforce that message. And I think that I, like, never fully understood or, like, could grasp, because it was also, like you said, like, you are put into this world, this context, and so how I'm going to act is going to be different from, like, if I stay back in, like, my birth country. And
100%, because there is that safety net of, like, everybody around you is like you anyway, so, like, it's almost like you instantly feel a little safer because you're like, oh, my people. But it's like that doesn't mean every single person there was a good person. It just means that you just felt seen, like you have similar stories, right? And there's certain things that was understood that you didn't need to speak about, right? But then when you're in this world, it's kind of like you stand out like a sore thumb, like, and you don't have room to fuck up because they already think of you a certain way. So it's like, don't give them a reason to be like, I was right. But then also don't lose yourself to the point where you become inadequate and you don't know how to speak up or stand up for yourself. So it was so confusing a little bit, because it's like, can the two coexist a little? Like, it's like, it was, especially for a child, because you're like, what are you telling me right now? Like, I don't know, what are you trying to say to me right now? But it was like, be yourself, be expressive, be this, be that, stand up for yourself. But remember, it was always like, but remember, you're this, you're that, and you're that. You know? Because if you forget, the minute you forget, there will be somebody right there to remind you that you're a black woman. So it was that. So I think it was just like that age, like the people that my parents are now and my siblings got, they're not the same parents that I got. Like, we had a lot of...
Oh my God,
we had a lot of clashes growing up, and it felt like, because there was just so much miscommunication.
100%.
They didn't know how to speak to me, I didn't know how to speak to them. And it just kind of always resulted in clashes.
And especially being the oldest as well. Like, I've had that conversation with, like, my aunt, and it's so funny, my little brother is about to graduate, and next year, my aunt and my uncle, they want to help him to go overseas, and I might go with him as well. And my aunt was like, you were like the struggle child, in the sense
100%.
of, like, they were trying to get on their feet, you know, being in this country that, like, we kind of grew up with, like, from my personal experience, with, like, not a whole lot, and now they're at a place where they worked really hard to, like, have more solid foundations. And so now like, you
have more room for living
play.
And, like, luxury. For a long time it was like, what is play, what is fun? Like, we're trying to survive. Like, we didn't come to this world we didn't come to Australia for fun. What do you mean go out and do this? Like, it was kind of like, if you're not working for a purpose, then it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're throwing your life away.
And I, in turn, now, like, I feel like, especially when it comes to, like, work and just, like, me in the world, that I have that, like, pressure on that I put onto myself, but it's just because I've grown up in an environment where, I've been with, like, an aunt who was, like, in her 20s when I came to, like, live with her, and, like, my mum is in the States, and there's just, like, I've really seen so many people around me have to work really hard for what they have, and know that, like, if they wanted something, that they needed to, like, go out there, that it's hard sometimes for me to just like switch off and
just kind of like be in la la land.
And just be like
enjoy something.
Fine.
Because you feel a little guilty.
I do.
It's almost like
and I have to like retrain my brain to be like, hey, it's alright for you to just have a break and relax and not be so like, oh my god, but what's
you
next?
have to do something.
I have to do something because you know, if I'm not doing it, then who's gonna do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It's like that's the downside where it's like you don't know when to stop, or you don't like until you crash. Like there was moments where it's like I would overwork so much until my body physically forces me to sleep.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what? Why?
It's not good.
Why? Like what is the rush?
Yeah.
But then it's like that's because I grew up with parents that there was a time limit. There was no such thing. To them, it's like, what do you mean you have all the time in the world? No, you don't. Get your shit together now. Like, what do you mean? Like, the world is going and you're left behind. Like, don't be left behind. So it's like I don't know, finding that balance. I still don't know how to. I don't think I found the balance just yet. Like, if I get hyper fixated in like working a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think that's why also I guess fashion is like somewhat of a good space to be in, because shit, sometimes it just won't be work. You have no choice but to sit there and wait for work, right? Unless you go out and you get another job. But it's like sometimes it's just like you're working and then sometimes it just stops and you're like, oof.
You're like well, I guess I'm being forced to.
Because if it was my choice, there would be no stop.
I'd be going, I'd be flying everywhere.
Until I'm just like, that to me is luxury. Like, what do you mean? Like, I have to, like, I want to work to the point where I'm like, fuck, I'm exhausted. That's when I know I've worked. But like, which is so unhealthy, because it's like, it shouldn't be like that. But that's what happens when you're first generation, because your parents are on your ass as well. Like, 100%. What do you mean you just relaxed today? What do you mean you just laid in bed all day?
I think also subconsciously I always have this thing in my head that like my family and like the people in my life have sacrificed so much for me to be in the position that I'm in, and obviously I've done a lot of stuff on my own, and even when I was like wanted to like pursue more a creative field that my family was like, are you sure? Like, like it's not really like as much of a thing. But however, I'm just like, I always found it hard to like get amongst stuff because I was just like, I don't really see the point of doing that when I know people have like sacrificed so much for me to
it's like I acknowledge your sacrifice, right? Yes, I wish I was somebody that could be content with, graduating, going to uni and getting that lawyer, doctor, the top three. Business,
dentist.
it's like I wish I could have been on that part. That would have been so easy. Right now I'm in my little office doing whatever that is there. But it's like that's just not me. Like I'm so. It's almost like you just taking the creative field. It's almost taking like the long way. In like it's just like you intentionally put yourself in some fuck shit. Like you intentionally went out of your way to you looked for those obstacles, right? That's how it feels sometimes. You're like, damn, all for what? I don't know, for a sense of purpose or something, right?
Something.
But I think that's why I say like I raised my parents, because it's like the parents that my siblings got right now so open-minded, so. Or like, what do you want to do? Oh, you want to go to Europe for a couple? Oh, okay. Oh, you want to, okay. Oh, you want to, And it's like, I fought tooth and nail for that shit. I had to stand on it. I had to be like, no, this is what I'm doing. Like, if I wasn't a stubborn child, I would have just folded and just done it. But they knew I was stubborn. They've always said that. Like, like once she made up her mind and that's what she wanted to do. There's nothing you can really do about it. But I'm like, I got that from you. Like, shit. But, hot-headed ass mom, stubborn dad. Like, it's just two very big personalities. And then I got raised. Of course, I'm going to have those traits as well. So it's like, Everybody knows I'm going to do what I want at the end of the day. But it's like, as long as I am happy with that, doesn't matter if the rest of the world is like, nah, I don't like you, or I don't like it. It's like, okay, cool. I like me, and I like it. So,
100%. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
It's never personal.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, and never look like your problems. The world has no business
knowing.
Yeah, because they're not gonna comfort you because of your problems. You're not gonna attract people that are saving you simply because you're walking around looking a fucking hot mess because life is so hard. No, so just and I think those two coexist, because it's like, first of all, it's not personal, so therefore I can't now then leave my little world and come to you with my problems. I don't know what you got going on as well. So it's like the least I can do as a part of, as a member of society is try to hold myself together as best as I could, so then you could do the same, and then we cross path. You never know, like, a simple conversation, a simple hi, oh I like your shoes, oh you're so pretty. Now I probably don't feel as shitty as I was feeling 5 seconds ago, and it's like, but if I walked up to you and I'm like, oh my god, I feel so shit, like, it's like I would have just dropped all that weight on you for no reason, so I think, I don't know, like, it might not be the best advice, but no, I love it. Never look like your problems. Because one thing about me, I could be going through hell and back. And I would never look like my problems. I will always, I was just like, oh, hey. No, always put together, always. Because the world keeps moving. So it's like, you should have the ability to, like, remove that and still go to work, still interact with others, still live life. The minute you start, how I see it, if I start looking like my problems, I'm going to start feeling like my problems. And if I start feeling like my problem, I'm going to live in my problems. And I will never be able to get out of that rut of whatever that problem is. You can't find a solution if you're in it and you're just clouded by the problem itself. And then it's never personal, because it's like, it really isn't. Like, it's never, nothing is ever personal. No. And I come to you and I'm like, you? And I'm talking to you directly, fuck you. But even that, it's like, why did I say that? Why did I feel the need to come to you? It's like, it goes right back to whoever that person is that's bringing that onto you. So, it's never personal.
Well, to end the podcast, what's one message you would share with our audience, even though I feel like you've said so many different messages?
I've said too much. Hey, I've been just talking. I feel like, just be sexy, be yourself, be fun, and be unapologetic. Like, the world is your oyster. It's all yours, man. It's your world. So do as you please.
I love
that's my message. Who cares what anybody thinks? Just do you. Just do you.
Love hard. See you guys next time. Bye. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for having me.